Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, we certainly didn't have an Onana and Nemanja Matic Twitter beef, at least on my bingo card. I didn't anyway, maybe Sam did. But here we are. Obviously, that's going to be the big kind of topic of discussion as we travel to Lyon today. And we hear from Amarin a little bit later on, because as this is being recorded, it's around 5 o'clock. So Amarin speaks to the media at 7, just for a bit more clarification on that. And I'm sure he will be asked about it as well. So for any updates on that situation, it will be on our Instagram. So make sure you drop us a follow on there. But apart from that, Sam, we also have other bits to discuss. So the travelling squad in itself, there's a couple of interesting inclusions in there, which I want to discuss. Kobbie Mainoo returns to the team, but what is his best position actually in the side? Where do we prefer him? There's just been some news announced on Liam Delap's release clause being lower than what we actually thought it was as well. So that's very interesting. And I want to get into conversation of that towards the end. We're also dropping a members video on Liam Delap later on in the week. So just a bit more of a focus on him in terms of what kind of player he is, his early career and all that kind of jazz. So make sure you tune into that. Take a breath. How are we, Sam?
Yeah, like you said, of all the sort of beefs that we've had so far the last year or so, Kendrick and Drake, stuff like that, I did not have Onana and Nemanja Matic going at it. That is it's a strange matchup. That's like, in WWE when Kane would face like Hornswoggle or something. Yeah. And you're just like, who's come up with this? Like,
the question is, which one's which?
Well, I'll leave that you lot to decide. But like, you're just like, why have they made this matchup? This doesn't make any sense. Like,
strange one, isn't it? Very, very strange. These things happen sometimes. I mean, Onana didn't help himself, with his comments. And just to kind of offer some context for anyone who hasn't seen it. So basically, after the Manchester derby, Onana was asked about the upcoming clash with Lyon and didn't really hold back. He says, "We all know the importance of this game. We will go there with the winning mentality. We have to go there and show who we are. If we are focused, stay compact and together and follow the game plan, we will be winning the game. Of course, it's not going to be easy, but I think we are way better than them." And obviously,
figured out where he should have stopped in that paragraph there.
Yeah, we'll also leave that to the viewers as well. Where do you think he should have stopped in there? I mean, we spoke about it yesterday, and it's just we don't need to go over it again, Sam. But it is just fucking added pressure, isn't it? You don't need to go out saying that. Oh. We spoke about Onana's ego before, and that is it's up there, isn't it? Considering the mistakes that he's made.
Yes,
it's up there.
Like, you want your player to be confident. Like, you want your players to be like, I'm a good player. I can do well. I can do things for this team. I got no problem with that. Like, even to a certain sort, you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, there's, I'd say, arrogance in there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But he's backed it up.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair to him, like, you can't say, oh, he's arrogant, he's not backing it up. Like, the dude backed it up. Yeah. Like, he's arguably one of the best players, if not the best player on the planet. Lionel Messi, insert, pick which one you want. Like, it's a free choice. But you look at it and you're like, there's certain players you have the ego of Ronaldo, but then they have nothing to back it up.
The ability of Yossi Benayoun.
Like, Onana has that aura at the minute. Like, he's made a shit ton of mistakes, but he's backing himself and he's speaking like he is prime Schmeichel or prime Van der Sar in our trophy-winning era. And we're not. We're one of the worst teams in Europe. We're having one of the worst seasons we've ever had. And he was at fault for some of it last year, if not the whole entire Champions League campaign last year. So I don't know where he's got the balls and the confidence from. I admire it. But at the same time, it's like stepping into delusional territory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, there's players like, do you remember, what was the guy who played for QPR? Adel Taarabt. Yeah. That guy had an ego the size of the Empire State Building and had glimpses of ability where you're like, this guy could be a great player, but just could never put it together. But in his head, he was the Don one. So it happens. So yeah, I just think in the sentence where it's going to be a tough game, but I think we can win it. That's a nice bit of confidence. Yeah. You're paying respect to the opponent, and just if you want to throw a little bit of shade, I'm all right with that. That's fine. Like, throw a bit of needle, it's fine. But to say we're much better than them when we're in this position that we're in and he's in the position that he's in is a really stupid comment. Like, that's like a fighter who's on like a 4-0 losing streak saying I should be getting a title shot, like I should be in the thing. It's just like it's madness.
And also, how do you measure if you're better than a team? Because if you're going off, okay, well, it's hard to tell, right? Because one's playing in the Premier League, which a lot of people would argue is a much tougher league than the French league is, and you're both at the exact same stage in the Europa League, and you've both been knocked out of the domestic cups, I'm pretty sure as well. Yeah. So you're in the same spot, but Lyon are higher in the French league than you are. So it's actually factually not even correct, even if you wanted to say that. Do you know what I mean?
And you look at the players as well, like comparatively, player-wise, like are we that much better player-wise? Like maybe in a couple of positions.
It's bigger price tags, but it doesn't mean necessarily a better team, innit?
But like it's a strange comparison. Like they've changed managers recently, we've changed managers recently. So I don't get it. It's not like we're Prime Man City and we're facing like Steaua Bucharest or something, is it? Like this is not the same thing. Like you said, it's quite comparable in terms of where the teams are at the minute. So yeah, it's a weird comment to make. Really weird comment to make.
I'm just looking at Paddy Power now just to see who are the favourites. And it's just United. So if you put a tenner on United, you win £27.50. You put a tenner on Lyon, you win £25. So £2.50 difference in that. So they are literally the marginal favourites heading into this, which is, I don't know if I feel the same. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's United's recent form. I'm not sure. But Nemanja Matic certainly doesn't feel like that. We had a live presser before for Lyon, and a journalist kind of revealed Onana's answer to him in a live kind of situation, and his reply was pretty tasty. He says, I respect everyone, but to say that, then you need to get the answer. If you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Man United's history, you need to take care of what you are talking about. If David De Gea or Peter Schmeichel or Edward van der Sar said that, then I will question myself. But if you are one of the statistically worst goalkeepers in United's modern history, then he needs to show that before he says, so we will see. And then it continued. Onana then went back onto social media, responding to Matic's comments. And it was kind of like, it weren't a reply at first. You're reading it, you go, okay.
It started off with like respectful.
And then it's like, fuck this guy. Right then it says, I would never be disrespectful to another club. We know that tomorrow will be a difficult game against a strong opponent. We focus on preparing a performance to make our fans proud, at least. And then that's where you stop again.
Right, so stop there.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good quote. You're fine with that, Andre. No worries at all. And then he goes, nope, you know what? I'm going to continue this. At least I've listed trophies with the greatest club in the world. Some can't say the same. So I fired back once again. Having said that, obviously we've watched both players, Sam. Nemanja Matic was fucking good for United at times, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was decent. I think we just, again, like a lot of players that we bought, we got him at the wrong time in their career because his knees were on the way out, weren't they, when we got him?
Yeah.
Like, he'd get to about 60, 70 minutes and just fall apart, like, couldn't keep up and stuff. So, but yeah, good player, really good player. Again, he's one of those players that they didn't light the world on fire, but they did a good job for us when they were there.
I don't think you get the prototypes of Matic nowadays, and like, 'cause he was like a proper. Anytime he had the ball, he just felt like he could keep any player off with just his arm. Whenever you watched him, it was like no one could get near him. He was extremely press resistant, could drill through the line, scored a couple of great goals. I think against Crystal Palace, he scored a volley, which is unbelievable.
He had a couple of good goals, didn't he? Like from range, like outside the box and stuff. He did a couple of them.
And he had the midfield that we had with, was it Herrera, Matic,
Pogba.
Pogba was pretty fucking good. Was pretty good at times.
Probably the best midfield we've had post Fergie, I'd say.
Yeah,
like I don't think we've had a better one.
And he was the guy in charge of fines and stuff, wasn't he? You know, with Maguire, he was a bit of a general at the club. Yeah, I remember reading an article about that. So
you wouldn't say no to him, would you?
No,
like he's
not.
Scary looking dude from Serbia.
Yeah,
like
no chance. To be honest, I think a lot of things I'm saying, what Matic was saying, is he lying? He's not lying, is he?
No. Like statistically, Onana is one of the worst goalkeepers we've had. Yeah. He has made some high-profile mistakes. Very high-profile mistakes. Has he made some great saves? Absolutely, yeah. But he's also made some real high-profile mistakes and cost us a Champions League campaign. So yeah, like you have to agree with him. On the one side, I love a bit of needle between players. I think that's what was missing in the Manchester derby. It was so like white toast on it. It was just really sort of like undercooked white toast. It was really boring. There was a little bit with Bernardo Silva's a little rat bastard with Igate.
Is with him. I hate him, me.
But apart from that, there wasn't really anything.
Sorry, you just about to think in my head. I would go far as to say, in world football right now, Bernardo Silva is the one player I hate the most, I think.
He's up there. He's definitely up there.
Who would beat him? In your mind, who are players?
Back in the day, David Luiz, I hated him.
Oh yeah,
I really hated him. Do you remember when he got fouled and then he got Nani sent off and he was weak and he was laughing? Yeah, hated him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Who else did it?
Cucurella, I don't like. I really don't like Cucurella.
I don't really care about.
And he's supposed to be a really funny guy, but he's just really. It's like a bit of. It's like Bernardo Silva, a bit of a. I get that the winners. I get that just a bit of a rat on the pitch. Don't like it.
I didn't like Ashley Cole, but maybe that's because of the stuff he did off the pitch.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really hate anyone nowadays. Bernardo Silva, I could definitely
strong word. But think about
the Community
Shield, the fucking mullered Garnacho, didn't he? Like 88th minute. For no reason, like stands on players' feet and all that
friendly.
Kind of
it's a fucking friendly, mate. Like, just chill
give
out.
over Bernardo. Anyway, I don't want to make it the Bernardo Silva show, but it does. You're right. It makes it. I was going to say it makes it more of a blockbuster game, doesn't it? When you see things like this, you can guarantee now. It's like the old adage of like any UFC boxing promotion fight. If you put a bit of a push or a shove in there, instantly everyone's like, "Oh, I want to see this even more." So whether this is the equivalent to when fucking Chris Eubank slapped Conor Benn with an egg in his face, I'm not entirely sure, but it's up there, isn't it? When you see these quotes, you're just watching the game now and you're thinking, fucking hell, if Onana does anything wrong in this game now, that is gonna live for the next 5 years rent free in Lyon's fans' heads. And if I'm Matty Sam, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? If I see that quote, I'm saying I bet he makes a mistake tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I'd be saying.
Or just take shots at him as much as you can, because that's when he spills, doesn't he? Like if you're taking shots at him from distance stuff, that's when he tends to spill the ball. So I'd be saying to like Shaqiri, is it Niakate who said the quote as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna get them on the screen in a second. There's a few.
Those guys, I'd be like, take every shot you can get. Like just take a shot at him, because he might be like prone to making a mistake. And if he does, then you're never going to hear the end of that. You will never hear the end of that. Yeah. That will be at that point for the next 6 weeks. That
you probably won't be asked if they lose the game if you score. If he makes a mistake and they're just like it's a win either way. Melissa Reddy actually reported before saying that the Lyon team were aware of Andre Onana's quotes already, and it was one of those stick it on the dressing room wall kind of vibes. So extra motivation for them. But I didn't realise. So I'll put it on the screen. This has been like there's been a few ongoing kind of bits with this. I didn't realise. I thought it was just Onana who kind of sparked this, but we've had kind of quotes from the Lyon defender Moussa Niakate. I can't pronounce his name. Niakate. Saying we're gonna. I'm gonna take glasses to read this because it's that thing. We're going there to make video. We're not going there to make videos or watch Old Trafford, but to qualify. We have the squad to do so and cause them problems. And we're here to go all the way. We also had Ryan Cherky who says on facing United in Europa League, we're ready to go to war with them. And then you had Matic's response to Onana as well. So. A lot of individuals, teams, etc. They're all up for it, man. They are fucking ready to go. And let it happen. I'm ready for the game now. I'm more excited for it than I was initially. And huge pressure. Do you think Amorim would have been happy with those comments from Onana?
Probably not. I'd imagine. Like, just be like, Andre, mate, just don't need to say stuff like this. Innit? Yeah. Like, say it on the pitch. Like, show you talking on the pitch. Go on the pitch, make a great performance, and shut them out. And then, if you have a great performance, you could talk afterwards and be like, I didn't like the stuff they were saying, and blah blah blah. But I showed up, and that's fine. I think there's like levels to it. I think there's like you can have a bit of needle and a bit of fun and a bit of banter, but stuff like that where you say, we're a much better team than them, is always going to come back to haunt you. Have a bit of a sort of dig and just be like, oh, Matic, he's at the end of his career, like he was at United, blah, blah, blah. But to say that, you're like, it's something that way if you don't back it up, you're going to look like an absolute fool.
Let's see what happens. Get your comments in if you are watching this later on. Your thoughts on this whole Nemanja Matic and Andre Onana beef, if you want to call it that. Get it in the comments and let us know your thoughts. On the travelling squad, Sam, to Lyon, that got announced earlier on today. So goalkeepers, you got Bayende, Heaton, and Onana. Can you imagine if he just plays Bayinda and
that would be an amazing. What is it?
Curveball.
What's the word? Like a rug pull. A rug pull. Just be like, yeah. You're all like expecting Onana, and then you see the start lineup is Bayinda.
Yeah,
and they're just like,
okay,
yeah, okay,
interesting.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. To be fair, might be a good idea.
Who knows? Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Defenders: Amas, Dallo, Dorgu, Camerson, Kokonke, Lindelof, Maguire, Mazraoui, Shaw, Yoro. That seems like a lot of defenders to me. That.
So no Delap.
1, 2,
He's not
3,
going.
4, 5. No, Delap's not going. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 defenders they've got on there. They've got Casemiro, Ericsson, Fernandes, Mainoo, Morehouse, Mount, Ugarte, and then Garnacho, Højlund, and Xerxes as the forwards who were going as well. But yeah, nice to see Morehouse on there, Sam, innit? Just kind of great experience for the youngsters.
Yeah, I saw, is it Muppeteers? I think put something out, is it yesterday? Saying Morehouse is expected to get his debut before the end of the season. He's going to be a great thing. So, yeah, maybe it comes. Maybe he gets off the bench tomorrow. Maybe he gets some minutes and stuff. I've heard really good things. He's very good at ball carrying. He can dance past players and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm really interested to see. He played really well in the 13-2 game against Leeds. So, yeah, I'm really interested to see what he's got and what he's like, because we don't traditionally produce those kind of midfielders.
No,
like a lot from United. Like we tend to, it's more attacking midfielders and tens and stuff. So yeah, I'm interested to see what he's got.
Yeah, absolutely. On the downside, no Matthias de Ligt or Aiden Heaven just yet. I think they're a little bit behind. But I think we've got enough there. Maguire should have 90 minutes in him now. He played 60 minutes against Man City. So
he took him off, didn't he, against Man City to save him minutes. So I imagine, and I think Yoro's been good.
Maz
Mazraoui plays well in that. Yeah. I think we'll be all right.
We'll be sweet. Another noticeable name in there, some of the midfielders, was Kobbie Mainoo. He was training today, back with a fresh trim. Looks a little bit like he's putting a bit of muscle as well, to be fair to him. Looks like Seedorf vibes, I want to say.
He's been in the gym in his rehab.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But what I wanted to discuss was, obviously, with him returning now, where do you put him? For you personally, not like where you think Amarin will, where do you like him playing?
I think there's a hole in the 10 at the minute. Because I think, obviously, we've been playing Bruno quite deep, aren't we, in the 8. I know against City, he started in the 10. And then when we took Ugarte off, he dropped back. And I think he's been really effective in that 8 position. I know at the beginning, when we did it the first time, you weren't a fan of it. But I think in recent times, he's been really effective. And I enjoy him in that position.
I weren't a fan of him where? Sorry.
When he played in the 8, like ages ago. Was it Ten Hag who played him there, or Ollie or something?
And the left side of it you're on about?
No, when Bruno played in the 8.
Oh, right. Yeah. I thought he's on about Mainoo there. Sorry. Yeah, no, Bruno, when he dropped deeper under Amarin a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like before that, you weren't a fan, were you? But like since he's done it under Amarin, I think he's done extremely well. Like I think he's decent there. So if that's going to be the case going forward, say we play with Casemiro and Bruno, I think there's a hole in one of those 10s because I think Garnacho there's a lot of issues there. I think he played well on the right, but when he switches over to the left and stuff, I think causes issues. So I think maybe you could do Xerxes and Mount, or you could do Mount and Mainoo, or Mainoo and Xerxes. Like I think there's a couple of options there. So I'd love to see him in one of those 10 positions. I think he's great on the ball. He's got a good shot on him. He can finish. He loves to play like passes through the lines and stuff. So I think he'd be really, really good for one of those 10 positions. I'd love to see him in one of those positions.
The mad thing is, we yet to see certain combinations in there. Like, you could even go with a Mainoo, Ahmad, and let's say, I don't know, they bring in a Delap or something.
Well, I didn't mention Ahmad because he's out injured.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, like, the reason why I say that is because I feel like in those inside 10s, he wants one that's direct and can run at players.
Yes.
He wants one that's a little bit more creative and like a playmaker. That's what I've seen. Because you have Trincao, Goncalves, that was very similar. And he always plays like Garnacho and Xerxes. So you see, do you know what I mean?
Garnacho and Bruno.
Yeah. So if Mainoo goes in there, then it's like, well, who's going to be the direct player? And it doesn't always have to be. It depends whatever outfit you're playing and what team you're playing. It's not always going to work out like that. But yeah, I think I agree. I mean, the first time he played there was against Victoria Pleasing, I want to say.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked him there. I thought it was good. Did he score?
Well better. He may have got an assist or a goal. I'm not sure, but he looked a million miles way more comfortable. And again, I spoke about this weeks ago about all of his goals, all of his good moments for the team have come in that kind of left-sided 10 area. So I want to see him there more. Amorim, when he speaks about him in the midfield as well, he doesn't really talks about the recovery runs. That it's not quite right. He's not necessarily an athlete either, is he? Kobbie Mainoo, like to kind of bomb up and down the pitch. No, he's not that quick. So yeah, I think he's perfect for that role. But we've seen a very small sample size, haven't we? So it's kind of tough to go off just that kind of small batch. I don't think he'll start tomorrow. I think minutes off the bench.
No. If he's only come back to training today, I don't see it. He might not even come off the bench because we saw Mount when he came back to the team. He didn't go off the bench in the first game, did he?
Yeah.
And then he's only had 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. So they slowly brought him back. They're not sort of like starting him yet. So I can imagine him doing the same with Mainoo as well.
Yeah, but it's options in it to have Mainoo, Mount there as extra ones is really, really good. And then especially when Ahmad gets back as well. It just makes the landscape so much better. But yeah, we've got to get the business done tomorrow. We look forward to that. We'll be live from 7 o'clock. Kickoff's 8 o'clock, right? It's not no dodgy 5 o'clock kickoff. So we'll be live from 7 o'clock, obviously, with the pre-match and the post-match. So please do make sure you join us for that as well. I said at the start of the video, we've got a video dropping over the weekend, a members video, on Liam Delap. If you want to become a member, click the join button next to the notification bell and become a Real Red Ultra. So that'll be dropping over Saturday, Sunday, exclusive access to that, early exclusive access. But speaking about Liam Delap, Sam, there has actually been news dropped just before we went live about him, and this comes from The Guardian, that his release clause is reportedly worth 30 million, not even 40, so 10 million less than what was initially reported. Man United and Chelsea both keen on the player as he's part of their shortlist for the summer transfer window. Man City also have a 20% sell-on clause as well. I think they have a buy-back clause, but that they don't seem to be interested from reports that I've read. No. But 30 million for Delap, it's not bad, is it?
Like people who said, we don't need another striker who's not experience and stuff like that, but when you're talking 30 million for an emerging talent like this, it's kind of hard to say no, isn't it? Like you kind of just got to go, let's pull the trigger on it. 30 million is not too bad in this like day's landscape. I know 30 million in the grand scheme of things is a lot of money, but in terms of football, it's not that much. Yeah, like we paid, what was it, 23, 24 for Dorgu. So like 7 million more for like Liam Delap. I think that's a really good price. And I think it's if they get relegated, is it, which looks fairly likely at this point. So I think, that'd be a really interesting deal to do. I saw Alice Talks Football tweeted Cunha and Delap for 90 million. That's a good deal, that, isn't it?
It's all right, isn't it?
Under 100 million for two of them. Get a really, really good 10 and a young prospect striker. Like, I like that. Smart business for me. That's really smart business.
Yeah, and obviously Wilcox knows him very closely, doesn't he, from bringing him through Manchester City. So, I don't want to go too deep into it because I've done a full deep dive, which I'm about to record very shortly. But I like what I see from him. I'm not the biggest fan of the idea, the fact he's 22, and it's kind of like it might be a little bit of a work in progress, which I've stressed before. But again, that price, you cannot ignore that price. £30 million. Seems like a fucking bargain. And what happens? He has a couple of shit seasons. You sell him 15, 20, you cut your losses. Like, it's not the end of the world, is it? It's not like you paid £100 million for him or 70 like you did with Rasmus.
Exactly. Or he's not going to be on ridiculous wages either, like you do with Casemiro or with Anthony and stuff, where you can't shift them on and stuff like that. The age profile fits. It's in a position that we need. The price is really good. The wages aren't going to be too much. Like, there's a lot of positives there for me. A lot of positives for there. So, I think that, like, it's like Alice says, if you can get him and Cunha, both got release clauses for 90 million, like, United should be all over that. They should definitely be all over that.
The competition, just specifically the competition that worries me, because if you have Champions League clubs circling, that could be the lure to kind of, do you know what I mean, pull those kind of players, because I think they can handpick from a couple of clubs going into the summer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, we've got to put ourselves in the frame, and it starts against Lyon. You beat them, you beat Rangers or Athletic, and then you get to the final, you win that, you're in the Champions League. Happy days, you sign everyone you want, and we go on and win the league next year. All sorted. Happy days.
Don't say that. Okay, hell. Coming.
21's coming. Right, we'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. We appreciate every single one of you. Please do leave a like on the video for us. Subscribe. We're on 13,747 subs. So getting closer and closer to that 14K. Takes 2 seconds if you aren't subscribed. Also, leave your thoughts on that Andre Onana and Matic situation. We'd love to see some comments on that because I think it's quite a funny situation. And drop us a follow on socials as well in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
One question to leave the viewers with. I put this in our group chat today, so I'm going to spread it out to the world. Would you rather face a kangaroo at 7 a.m. every Monday morning for a year and you win £1 million, or you get 10K for slapping a random toddler to the ground, but he has to hit the ground for you to get the 10K and you have to deal with the consequences? Which one would you go for? Let me know in the comments.
There you go. The important questions that matter. We'll leave you guys with that one. Brain tickler. See you in a bit.